Hello and welcome to the tutorial on using the script for 3D projections to 2D textures on your characters. We're going to be doing it today with a little character that I grabbed from the internet that I've called Sumo Wolverine. And the thing I'd like to have you notice is that the UVs are all laid out. But more importantly, there is a symmetry to the character, effectively meaning that these faces here on this side are laid right on top of the ones from the other side. So this character doesn't have a separate UV system for the right side as for the left, and that is actually going to affect the outcome. So let's jump in. First of all, I'd like to let you know how to use this script easily. So come down here to the script editor, lower right hand corner. You can click on the script editor. You can also come up here to Windows and go to General Editors, Script Editor right here. Same thing. So what we want to do is we want to click on the plus tab for a new script and click on the Python button. This means we're going to be cutting and pasting the Python commands to evoke the script. I have one up here in my custom shelf, but you can get it just as easily by simply putting the script where you need to, where again, proj to text Python, and I have a copy of it here, but where I've really placed it is in the place where it looks for my scripts, and that would be down here under source or open script. Under file, it'll take you right to the file where it looks for your scripts. So make sure that you've got a copy in this area as well. So this is again where it's going to be looking for mine. Your address is going to be a little bit different, but you want to make sure that by default, wherever Maya is looking for their scripts, that's where you have it. Otherwise, this won't work. So make sure it's in your scripts directory. And when you get the scripts directory, what you can do is select that address, open up a File Explorer window, and paste your address so you're in the scripts directory. Because what you can do is actually open this up with your choice of text editor. I like to use Notepad++. You can use TextEdit. Doesn't really matter. And in the commented out header, the first part of the script, you can see the commands to actually evoke it. So you want to copy these and then close whatever text editor you're using and come into, in fact, close load script, and just paste this information right into the tab you've opened with Python. And if you select everything and then press the furthest rightmost enter button on a PC keyboard, the one near the matrix of 3x3 numbers, it should run like so. The other way you can try to do it is go under command and pop down to execute. Now notice that with the commands selected, this command to evoke the script selected, it doesn't disappear when I run it. It stays up. If you don't have it selected, it may in fact disappear once you run it. And that's not a good thing for you if you want to put this up into your little custom tab shelf thing, which I suggest you do. Click on your custom tab and go to File, Save Script to Shelf. Give it a nice little name. Again, I use 3D Proj, and when you press OK, it should pop up in here and be there in perpetuity for you to simply click on it, and you should get this window up like I have here to continue running in the future. Alright, so by default, and let's just use the defaults for now, let's select the character. Let's go into target meshes or shaders, add selected. This is now our default character name, and you can even rename it if you'd like. I'll just call this one Sumo Wolverine, add selected. Oops, let's get rid of it. Add selected Sumo Wolverine. There we are. The output directory is going to be where I have my testing area. It's a test bed that I've created for myself on Dropbox. So I like to test locally before I roll anything out. So it's going to go to that area, and it's going to be saving these projections. So let's take a look at what Maya does here step by step with this as we go down the buttons. So make projections. It puts on 3 different projections for the character, front, side, back. You can see it here, also in the outliner. Save the screenshots. It saves out screenshots of those 3 different views, and we can verify this by going into whatever folder you've told it to save things into, and there we have front, back, and side alpha. And this is going to create a sandwich of art. So you're going to have artwork that you'll do, and basically you're just going to paint over this character from the back. You're going to then paint over them from the front, and you should be able to see them. Just use it as a color in the lines, if you will. And it'll take any detail that you put in there, but it's basically going to create a sandwich, projecting the art onto the back, projecting the art onto the front, and using this side view as an alpha channel to layer them so that the face doesn't go all the way through the head, the chest design doesn't go through the body, etc. So this is the point at which you'd paint over these sections, and I've already done it with sort of a test group. You can see that I've just put a big red square here on the back, and I put this sort of squiggly green in the front, and I've got this side alpha for the layering. So I'm just going to write over it in a very quick simulation of painting just for the test. And you can see the side alpha, that which is white is going to be in the front, that which is black is going to be in the back. And at this point we pop back to Maya and ask it to make a layered shader, which it does. And if you press 6 for textured view, you should actually see this projecting accurately onto the character. But beware, you're not done, because notice that this actually swims over the character as I move it back and forth. So it's not really baked on the character at all. It's using this sort of slide projection. And the next step is for us to convert it to textures using its UVs, which it automatically does. And then we ask it to combine the textures using the alpha channel. And then the final step, apply it to a shader. And it does so, and now we can see the final output baked on the UVs. It is a singular shader, and you should have that reflected also in your you should have this reflected in your hypershade here. So if you come in and take a look, there it is. Sumo Wolverine shader actually has a PNG file that was made. So that's, it does allow you to see this process automatically. It doesn't fix everything. There's going to be obviously some stretching here on the side, but it's not bad for an automated process to allow artists that are not used to painting on UV maps to automate this and then spend less time cleaning things up. So that should work for you. Also notice that the symmetry here is something to keep in mind. So even though we've done a projection from the front, it's the way the UVs are laid out that have really delineated how this is going to look. Meaning, once again, all these faces here are copied over. These are all the left side and the right side are in the same place. So there was no chance to have an asymmetrical like Superman S. You can only have things that are mirrored because that's the way the UVs are laid out. If you want to do this a different way and have this laid out a different way, and you want to open this up so that you can have asymmetrical designs, that's fine. But that's not the script. That's just the way the UVs are laid out. Anyway, this is a script to help automate. We're adding complexities to it to allow top and bottom and possibly even side alphas and color channels as well. The projection padding is how much of a frame around this you want. So if you want to have a very firm frame around this, we've got a padding of 1, but you could put a padding of 10 pixels, and it'll put an even wider margin in here because you never want your character going right up to the edge, because that might give you some stretching black. Anyway, I hope you had fun, and I hope this works for you, and happy texturing.